Breaking news, guys. Manscaped is now doing beard products. That's right. Manscaped plans to keep you well-groomed head to toe throughout 2023 with the brand new Beard Hedger Pro Kit. The Beard Hedger is the star of this package. Guys, it's waterproof, cordless, and the trimmer rotary wheel has 20 hair cutting lengths, all with one guard. So no more messy drawers full of add-ons. The Beard Hedger Pro Kit also comes with 4 dermatologist-tested formulations for your post-trim hygiene: beard shampoo and conditioner, beard oil, and beard balm. And that's not all. The Pro Beard Kit also comes with 3 free gifts: a beard brush, comb, and scissors to ensure your beard is ready to impress. Sculpt your beard this season to a championship level and tame your mane by going to manscaped.com. Guys, for 20% off plus free shipping, just use my promo code Chael or click on the link below. The Bullet versus Grasso. Here's what happened. Look, beating Shevchenko for years now has not meant that you take her belt. And it hasn't meant that they raise your hand. Beating Shevchenko now for years is something along the lines of you go all 5 rounds. They call it a moral victory, but you went the distance. You didn't get stopped by her. Or maybe you made it into the 4th or 5th round, but you won one of the earlier ones. Or maybe you didn't win any rounds and she stopped you, but there was a sequence where you came out on top. Like, these have been, for years, these have been wins against the Bullet. And just to compare that to somebody else, you guys will remember when Khabib fought Al Iaquinta, but Khabib had a hard time taking him down. Or when they stayed in the middle, Al was able to land that jab. He was able to get his hips back. He was able to keep his wrist free, get underhooks. I mean, just by example, that was a really big surprise. And all these years later, even though Khabib won the match, Al won moments, and it was a massive victory. And anybody who was getting ready to fight Khabib, after Khabib fought Al, anybody, didn't matter who the opponent was, they would sit down with their trainer, they'd put that fight on, they'd break it down, they'd hit rewind, they'd show again, they'd start to build some confidence within their athlete that the emerging offensive wrestling force of Khabib was possible to defend. Okay. The same thing has been going on for years with Shevchenko. That is how good she is. I actually find it a bit of a challenge to articulate to you, the audience, how talented she is. Like, I can say things like, well, she's the world champion. Or I can talk about all the finishes she's had on her feet, or all the victories she's had by going the distance, and now she's in the 5-round club. Or I can talk about the time she submitted jiu-jitsu black belt. Like, I can keep on playing this game, but I still feel that I fall a little bit short in rhetorically explaining just how good she is at this sport. But for a number of years, there's been a whole bunch of people. It was always going to take a whole bunch of people. It was going to take a whole bunch of people to beat her. It was going to take an opponent years ago winning a round. It was going to take an opponent years ago defending a shot. It was going to take an opponent somewhere along the way scrambling up off the bottom to keep showing the next and the next and the next that it is possible until somebody finally gets it done. And that's just the reality. You guys will have heard, you'll have read about, maybe your grandpa told you, about boxers that went 10 and 11 years undefeated. And it's true. And a lot of people have tried to break down what that data means. How is it that within the modern era, you become a champion, maybe you defended a couple of times, and nothing more could really be expected of you, as opposed to back in yesterday when it could be 10 and 11 years? How do you explain that piece of data? And I've heard a lot of people do it, and they've tried to explain that people are just better now. The guys just weren't as good back then. We've got better training methods. We have better information about diets, about rest, about recovery. I appreciate that, but you're missing what is so glaringly obvious. The answer as to why a long reign under today's standard is a number of years as opposed to a normal reign being a decade. It's video. There's nothing else. It's video. Video is so effective that there are sports where it is illegal to watch video. Did you know that? In Little League football, right here in my home state of Oregon, where I'm sitting right now, you cannot, if you're an opposing coach, watch film of another team. Not just you can't go film them, not it's illegal to record them. If you come into possession of the tape and you're a coach, you may not watch it. They can take your status away. They can disqualify you. They can ban you from the sport. Because it's so effective once you start to learn somebody plays, once you start to learn their mannerisms. I think it's fair play. I don't like it. I think if you got a coach and you got a team and they're more dedicated than the next guy, or they're better at watching film, I think that that's a meaningful strategic advantage and it should be allowed. I'm just sharing for you that it's not. And I'm sharing for you why it's not. Moreover, all of these opponents that Valentina Shevchenko put to the side, they all collectively helped to influence Alexa Grasso tonight. And it was just a very interesting thing. I thought that Valentina looked like the better fighter. That was my opinion. That's not a cool thing for me to say, by the way, I admit. You go out, you have a contest, it was a fair contest, you acknowledge the winner. I most certainly do. I acknowledge Alexa Grasso. I'm just sharing for you, for the minutes that I watched them, my opinion of who is better, who the better and more skilled fighter. I think it was the Bullet. It looked to me that there was a position that went against her. And I would give Grasso more credit. I give her a lot of credit. But I would give her more credit had she forced the position. That's one of those things that's very relevant. When a fight gets finished and it gets stopped, how'd you get there? But Grasso hit an arm drag, spun her around, hit a duck under, got her back, jumped up on her feet. That's very different than the Bullet creating the position, giving the back through an offensive tactic known as the spinning back kick. I'll just offer that for you. So they're talking about rematching these group. Man, I don't know anything about it. Rematch them, don't rematch them. I don't know who else is in the division. I really don't. Tatiana Suarez is the best fighter in the world, but I don't know what she's doing. She was down at 125. I guess she's back. Now she's at 25. Maybe this creates an opportunity where you could open that door for Suarez to get an opportunity. See if you have a better fighter. Moreover, see if you have somebody that become champion that could become a main event. There's a number of things like this at play. Overall, it was a very good fight. Congrats to Grasso. Amazing reign and run by the Bullet. And we all move on to the next one.